Hey guys, Brooke Walker here, IFBB Women's Physique Pro. I am 18 weeks out from the Olympia, which will take place in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm gonna train back and biceps today. You know, my back is probably my weakest area, coming from basically every judge on the Olympia panel. So obviously the goal is to improve from the backside, and in my off season, transitioning into my Olympia prep, I have religiously trained back twice a week. So I'm just gonna continue to implement that, and you know, hopefully come December, it'll be enough. Matt Berzicott is my coach. He took over my prep following the Olympia. Last year, John Meadows was my coach, and obviously he unfortunately passed. Actually, as soon as I got my Olympia qualification, he passed the following day. Matt Berzicott has been a blessing in disguise for me. He has helped me make the most out of my improvement season. I can, without a doubt, tell you that I am coming in at my absolute best, from the best starting point that I've ever had. So, like I said, from the rear has been my weakest area. We have put a plan and implemented it going forward to ensure that I will be at my best come December. I've never looked like this or been this hard, this lean, or this condition at this point out from any show. So Matt has been awesome in that regard, and I'm just so excited to see what we bring come December. Okay. All right, so every time I do back, I was taught to always warm up with pull-ups, so that's been something I've done for years, and still to this day, every time I do a back workout, no matter how intense or how mediocre it may be, I always start with warm-ups or pull-up. Get everything moving. So I definitely recommend, if you can't do pull-ups by yourself, use an assisted pull-up machine if that's available to you. If not, you can use a resistance band in place. All right, so each week I'm gonna definitely do heavy sets of rack pulls, kind of depending on how I'm feeling. We got these awesome calibrated plates that are 55 pounds, and I always like to get to 315, so mentally I tell myself whenever I'm doing 355s that it's only 315 pounds, so I kind of, you know, confuse my body here.
like 315.
All right, so I just finished up some sets of rack pulls. Typically I like to alternate those each week. So one week I'll do deadlifts, the next week I'll do some heavy racks. Now moving on to a single arm row. I like to alternate here too as well. So one week I'll typically do a single arm dumbbell row, and then other weeks I'll alternate and use the hammer strength plate loaded row, and I will do those single arm, and I actually stagger my feet just as I would on a dumbbell row. The reason why I like to do those is because it helps me keep form. A lot of times you'll see people kind of swinging and using momentum on their dumbbell row, so using this in place kind of helps me maintain that form and take away any momentum that I may have with my legs. Going back to kind of where I'm weaker from is my entire backside. So coming off the Olympia, my goal this whole entire off season has to build not only necessarily more width, but more than anything, I just want to be thicker from behind. My overall detail last year, I was pleased with, but I would be happy coming in with the same detail, but just a little bit thicker. In years past, my backside is the first to kind of soften up following a show, and it's typically been the last to tighten up whenever I'm prepping for a show. So going forward in my improvement season and now moving in to my contest prep, the goal is still going to remain the same. So build as much deep density as possible while coming in as lean and as shredded as possible. Hey guys, this is Lexi Lamy with 365 Fitness. She is an aspiring IFBB Wellness Pro. So she had 2 top 5 finishes this year at the national level, and next year she's going for that infamous pro card.
Super excited, and I couldn't do any of this without my awesome coach Brooke. We've been together for about 2 years now. We had our 2-year anniversary in July, and I just believe this is just the beginning.
So typically after I do a heavy barbell movement or dumbbell movement, when it comes to back, I'll start to transition more into some machines. So lat pull downs, reverse grip pull downs, triangle bar pull downs, low rows, those sort of things. Those are kind of staple movements for every back day. Going back to kind of what I said last week in regards to 2 leg days, I don't necessarily do a glute specific day or a quad specific day. I kind of do a combination of the 2, so 2 whole leg days, I would say. Same thing applies for back. Typically I'm just going to not necessarily go for width or necessarily depth and thickness. I kind of just do a well-rounded back day twice a week. However, I'm not going to rack pull or deadlift twice a week. That's only going to be one of those 2 days. So I guess you could say one of my back days might be a little easier than my primary back day. So luckily I'm knocking out rack pulls this week. I won't have them again this week. All right, so moving into some low cable rows. A nice plus for this is I don't have to stand on the piece to pull down the weight. So if you've never met me in person, I'm only 5'2", so even though I might look big, I'm a little thing. So small but mighty, I guess you should say. But anyways, typically we'll keep my rep count a little bit higher on all my machine movements. So it's gonna be anywhere from about 12 to 15 reps. All right, so following every back day, I'll always hit a couple exercises, bicep exercises following back. Depends on kind of what I'm doing, but sometimes I'll do a barbell or a dumbbell sequence in addition to some sort of machine. So today I did barbell bicep curls, and then I kind of paired it with some alternating cable curls.